Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So today I have filmed this smoky halo eye. I think it's very suitable for New Year's or even just going out on the weekend or whenever. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, make sure to keep on watching. Alright, so going straight in with the eyes, I'm just taking the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer and I'm just putting that all over my eyes just to prime them and conceal any of that darkness and redness. And then just blending that out with the Beauty Blender, of course. Alright, so now I'm taking the Violet Voss Pro palette and I'm just taking the shade Thanks a Latte out of here just to set my eyelids. Okay, so now for the transition shade, I'm using the Violet Voss palette again and I'm taking the shade Transition and swooping that straight through the crease. Okay, so now going straight in and starting to create that halo eye, I am going to take this shade here, Brownie Point, so it's just a darker brown right here, and I'm just taking that on the outer corner and the inner corner of my eye to start with. And once that's laid down, I'm sweeping that through the crease a little bit as well, just to connect them up. Making sure to leave the center of our eye nice and bare. And of course going back in and blending out those lines just with that first brush we used. Next up, I'm taking the Too Faced Semi Sweet palette and I'm using the shade Truffled out of this one, and it's just a nice dark brown here as well. And I'm just putting those that shade, sorry, on the exact same spots that we just did, so the outer corner and then the inner corner as well. And this is just slowly darkening up because we want it to be nice and dark. So outer corner, inner corner, and then slowly blending them all the way around to connect them together. And going in with our first transition brush and blending out those lines. Alright, now so to darken up that outer corner and inner corner even more again, we're going to go straight in with Licorice, which is the black shade in the Semi Sweet palette, and this is literally the blackest eyeshadow I own and sometimes it scares me. So we're just taking the tiniest bit on our brush, tapping it off, and then going straight in to that outer corner. And the inner corner. Sweeping that around to connect them up. And then I'm just taking another brush with that brown from the Semi Sweet palette again. So the dark brown, and just using that to sort of blend the black in, because you don't want to use black to blend it out, otherwise you end up with a black eye. So now I'm just going to keep focusing on this eye and just make it as dark as I want it, and then I'll move on to the next eye. So all we're doing is going back and forward with that black and that brown just to make it as dark as we can. Alright, so now that our eyes are nice and dark, to make the center of our eye pop, I'm going to take the Morphe 350S palette, and I'm just taking this shade here. It's sort of like a mix between a silver and a gold as well. So I'm just taking that on my ring finger and patting that in the center of my eye. And then once that's laid down, that's when I take my brush, go in to that color, and then also pat that on and just sort of blend it out a little bit more. Alright, so now that that's on, we're taking the Semi-Sweet palette again and taking that brown once again and just blending those two shades together. And also back in with the black. To deepen it up once again and blend it together. Alright, so that's the eyes done for now, so we're going to move on to the face. Alright, so to prime my face, I'm just taking the LA Girl Pro Prep Primer. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of this video, I definitely think the eye look is something very, very suitable for New Year's Eve if you're going to a party or whatever. I know a lot of people are going to festivals this year, but I definitely think it's like a really, really good going out sort of look, just for any occasion really. As I said, it's probably my go-to going out look at the moment, so I really like it. I like that it's quite dark but also not too dark because the halo eye lightens it up a little bit. Alright, so today I wanted to try something a little bit different, and I wanted to conceal under my eyes and a couple of my spots before I put foundation on and just see how that works for me, because I've never tried it before. But obviously you guys know I don't have the best skin, so I just thought maybe this would be the best way to sort of cover up those imperfections. So I'm going to try this today and see how it goes. So I am taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, which I don't know if I've told you guys, but unfortunately I had to put it in this little container here because I dropped it in my room and my room's tiles, and yeah, I dropped it off my table accidentally, obviously, and it smashed, so I saved it because it was pretty much full and I was not going to just chuck it out, but I luckily saved it and put most of it in there, so that's why it's in an ugly container. So I'm going to take that under my eyes first. I'm going to blend that out with my beauty blender. And then also just taking that on where most of my redness is. And blending that in. I feel like for me this could be a really good way to do my festival base, because obviously festivals go for quite a long time, and also festival season is obviously in summer, so it gets quite hot, meaning your makeup does literally just slip off your face. So yeah, I think I might see how this goes, and then if it works out, it will definitely be the way that I do my makeup for festivals, but not all the time obviously because it's very heavy. Like after I put my foundation on, it'll be quite heavy. So the foundation I'm using today is the L'Oreal True Match foundation, and I'm just taking that on the back of my hand and going straight in with the brush and just painting it on my face. This foundation is a little bit too pink for me, but I think once I put the powder and concealer over the top of it and like bronze and blush and stuff, you can't really tell as much, but yeah, it's definitely too pink for me. So hard to find foundations that match my skin. I don't know why. I think maybe because I'm like more olive sort of. I think maybe that's why I can't find foundations to match my skin, but like drugstore foundations is the hardest to find, but I kind of just try and make do, because as I said, once you do concealer and powder and stuff, it usually looks okay. But even with like high-end foundation as well, like my Giorgio Armani, as you guys know, I have to mix that with the MAC concealer as well to get like perfect color, because the Giorgio foundation is quite olive undertoned, but then it's like a little bit too olive undertoned, and then the MAC concealer is really yellow undertoned, too yellow undertoned, so if I mix them together it somehow matches my shoulders, which is where I want it to match. So yeah, so I'm so excited for New Year's and for festival season. I'm going to Origin this year for New Year's, and then there's so many more festivals. I honestly couldn't be more excited. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are doing for New Year's, because there's so many events happening this year. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know how people are choosing what event to go to. I just decided Origin because most of my friends are going to Origin, and obviously I want to spend it with my friends. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you're getting up to for New Year's this year. And obviously if you're under 18, I don't know what there is to do for you guys, but even if you are under 18, still let me know what you guys are getting up to, because it's kind of interesting to know what like the younger people get up to these days. I just used to go away with my family all the time for New Year's before we all turned 18. So yeah, now I'm just taking the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer and concealing under my eyes again to brighten them up. Yeah, as I said, as I was saying, we always used to go away with my parents and like family and stuff for New Year's when I was like under 18, of course. So I don't really know what happens, like if there is events or whatever for younger kids, but let me know. Alright, so sorry guys, but my memory card just ran out and I didn't realize, but luckily the only thing that you guys missed was me baking my under eyes, so I just quickly changed the memory card and now we're here. So yeah, all I did was bake my under eyes with the RCMA no color powder. So now I'm just going to sweep that away because it's been sitting there for long enough now. So just sweeping that away because it's been there for like literally so long now. And then to set the rest of my face, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix face powder to set the rest of my face. Alright, so now for bronzer, I'm just taking the Essence Light of Orient bronzer and just bronzing up my cheeks with that. So the blush that I'm using is one of the ones out of the e.l.f. little blush quad, and I'm just taking the darkest one here straight on the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so moving back to the eyes again, I'm taking that dark brown straight underneath my lash line, like a lower lash line. And then going in with a little bit of that black on a really tiny small brush and packing that as close to the lash line as possible. Right, so now I'm just taking the, what's this one? Rimmel Soft Kohl black eyeliner and just tight lining my upper lash line. Now for the winged liner, I'm taking the CoverGirl Intensify Me liquid liner and I'm just putting a nice little wing on the end of my eye. Now for mascara, I'm just using the Essence Lash Princess. This is the pink one. I'm just coating my top and bottom lashes. And now for the lashes that I'm using today, I'm going to use the Model Rock lashes. These are in the number 266 and they're just really big and long and fluttery. So I'm just going to quickly jump off camera and chuck them on my eyeballs. Right, so now the lashes are on. While the glue is drying, I'm going to go in and do the last little touches. So for highlighter, I'm taking the ColourPop that is a mouthful. I'm taking the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. Wow. And I'm just taking that on this brush here and putting that straight on my cheeks. These highlighters are a creamy consistency, so you can put them on with your finger if that's like what suits you better, but I think this brush actually gets the product on really well. Right, so now that we're all nice and glowy, the last step is lipstick. So the one that I'm using today is by Essence, and it's the matte lipstick in the shade 2, and it's just this like mauvey pinky purpley type color. Just thought it's a little bit different from nude, which is what I usually do, so thought I'd try something a little bit different. So just putting that straight on our lips. That smells so good. Alright guys, so that is the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and as always, if you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a massive thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye guys.